Greetings all, this is Hairy Nick. Justin's here.
Me.
You.
Me. I'm pretty important.
That's right.
Sometimes.
You haven't been here for a while.
I haven't.
And I wanted to make sure that we did this video with you because this is a subject we spoke about last year in December. Whether or not Clone Wars stuff should come to X-Wing.
And I was right.
You were right. I'm happy to admit you were right. Now, back then, we were in first edition and things were getting complex and cards were getting dumb and very sort of word sandwichy.
And we were like, where do they fit? How do they fit?
But now we have second edition. Everything seems so much cleaner.
Exactly. They're just like, here, just give them their own faction. That makes sense.
And also, there's new mechanics in the game that kind of fit. We have Calculate and we have Force, both things which I think are going to be centerpieces of both the CIS and the Republic. It's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah.
So I didn't make a video on this over the weekend because we didn't really get a lot of info on this. We mainly just got these images, which I'll show on the screen in front of you, saying, hey, Clone Wars is coming to X-Wing and these two ships are going to be in it.
Yeah, which is actually kind of interesting because only one of them was in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, the Scimitar fighter, the Sith infiltrator, was previously only in episode 1.
Yeah.
We know based on the canon that we can see here, according to Wikipedia. By the way, you want any information on these guys, just go to Wikipedia. The guys that maintain that website are fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But Palpatine took the Sith infiltrator and potentially used it during the Clone Wars for whatever nefarious reasons. But yeah, it's something from episode 1. Which also begs the question, are we going to see more stuff that were shown in episode 1? Yeah. Like the Naboo Starfighter, that kind of thing. But what's really cool is this image here, I'm pretty confident is going to be the art for the Maul card. Yeah. Because it's decloaking in front of Tatooine. Oh,
How good is that decloak?
Decloaking on a big ship. Maybe a medium ship.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess big, though.
Yeah, I hope big.
Very big nose. I think it has to be on a big base. Looking forward to that. It's like big, chunky TIE fighter stats with shields and torpedoes. Man, this ship's going to be cool. And also the Jedi Starfighter.
Yeah.
Or at least the earliest rendition of the Jedi Starfighter we saw in canon.
Yeah.
Does that make it the Mark 1 or whatever?
Yeah, they were actually done by different companies, I think.
Yeah, this original one was done by someone else, but the one we see in episode 3 is done by Sinar. Yeah. It's got a twin-ion engine. I think that's one of the earlier renditions of the twin-ion engine. The Scimitar fighter has a experimental ion engine. Yep. Again, all this info is on Wikipedia. Go look it up. There's some really cool stuff for us to talk about. But this video is not going to cover any more news than that. That's all the information we know. This video is about speculation.
Indeed.
Let's talk about what we want to see on these factions, what we already have in the game, what's going to go on those factions, and let's dive right into it. Why don't you start off with the Republic?
So currently in the game, we've got the Arc 170.
In fact, both this and the Sheathipede is an example of something already on the Rebel faction, and the key difference between having something on the Rebel faction that was appropriated to them is probably that we're going to see generic pilots on the Republic. Yeah. We're going to see more capability to use them in combination, in swarms, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, you just have random clone pilot and stuff like that with the Arc 170.
And I can see like abilities that work together and that kind of stuff, which we're not going to see in the Rebel faction because they only had a small handful.
Yeah. We've also got the Z95, Y-Wings, the Protectorate Starfighter, possibly?
Yeah, possibly. It was flown by the Mandalorians who did fly for the Republic.
But then they also flew for Death Watch, which arguably is kind of CIS, but not.
It's a bit of a contentious point, that one. Also, the Azatuk gunship is up for debate as well. Yeah. They did fight alongside the Republic. I don't know whether they ever considered themselves part of the Republic Army. I don't think the Wookiees ever tried to help them liberate other planets or something like that. It's one of those things. There's a few ships here which we have a bit of a question mark next to because they fought for the Republic, but not really part of the core Republic Army.
Yeah.
Even in the case of Z95s and Y-Wings, I expect... Well, maybe not so much Y-Wings, because they were reproduced on the Rebellion.
Yeah.
Z95s were primarily used in the Republic days. By the time they used them on the Rebellion, they just used the spare ones they had, but they were into producing X-Wings at that point. Yeah. Same manufacturer, Arc 170, Z95s and X-Wings. So, again, I would expect more formation flying. more generic pilots, that kind of stuff. What we have, like the Bandit Squadron pilot on the Rebellion, the only generic for the Z-95. And just, more stuff which gives you incentives to fly more of these guys, which is cool because they carry missiles and can do really fun Alpha Strike stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, on the CIS, I only got a couple things to talk about here.
There's not really much, on the CIS that's already out. We've got...
The Sheathipede is pretty much it.
Yeah.
But again, that's a ship on the Rebellion. It focuses mainly on the Rebellion of having really cool abilities. All the pilots are named. That's not going to be the case if they're put on the CIS. Yeah. It's going to be about troop transports. Maybe there's really good crew cards, like those tactical droids and something like that.
You've got all the tactical droids. You've also got like maybe the assassin droids for crew cards as well.
Yeah, the Magna Guards, that kind of stuff. General Grievous. Oh, it's going to be so cool. But I look at particularly the mechanics that we're going to expect in the CIS. I can see calculation being a big part of that.
Definitely.
It's going to be not just, and this is just all a guess in my eyes, it's not going to be about sharing around calculate tokens, because at a certain point, calculate tokens become worthless. Having 4 when you already had 3 is, who cares? But different ways to use calculate tokens. I think those two things working together is going to be a key thing.
Okay.
And the Sheathipede with coordinate, if there's ways to improve the coordinate, maybe you coordinate something and it also gets a calculate token. I can see that being a core part of the strategy.
I like that.
You're going to need ways to control all your droids. I don't think Vulture droids alone are going to just get combos together. I think there's going to be need like control ships and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the Sheathipede is already very significant in the first edition meta. I think it's still going to be good moving in second edition. Probably not as good. We're not going to have like Stress Ezra or a very efficient Fen Rao, but nonetheless, it's a cool ship that everyone likes, and I don't think FFG are going to want to sort of shy away from that. One more thing we have up for contention with the CIS is the fire spray.
Yeah.
This is...
Jango Fett.
Jango Fett, maybe. Like a big question mark on this one, because... He worked very closely with the CIS, but he's very much scum as well.
Yeah, definitely, he was the bounty hunter.
Yeah, like completely cut ties with Mandalore. That was established in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But, I mean, bounty hunters in general. We'll just talk about this now quickly because we were chatting about this beforehand. The problem we have overall, generally we consider scum things that are not part of the core armies, whether that be original trilogy, new trilogy, or prequel trilogy, which we're going to have now. They're not part of the core army, therefore they are scum. However, when we're talking about the CIS, the Confederacy of Independent Systems, they are designed to be lawless. They are defying the rule of the Republic, and they are allowing for bounty hunters.
Yeah, they were the big bounty hunter team sort of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. So does that mean that we get... Jango Fett and Cad Bane on the CIS or other bounty hunters?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a very contentious point. I'm going to guess no. I'm going to guess Jango Fett will be scum, but I'm very curious to find out.
Realistically, we've got enough droid ships for the CIS. We don't necessarily need all those additional ships from bounty hunters. It might be nice.
It might be nice. I mean, we'll have like a Sarge and Dooku, Maul. We will have some non-droid stuff on the CIS, but the fire spray. I'm going to guess no, but it's something worth having a discussion about, that's for sure.
At least get a nice reprint.
Yeah, like Jango Fett,
With the blue, it's going to look
absolutely
very nice.
And how do FFG do that? They don't put Jango Fett in the existing fire spray pack.
So with Jango Fett, maybe they'll give a nice new ship with a couple of extra cards on it.
Yeah, I'm thinking something like the Most Wanted thing. The problem is we already have the fire spray expansion in the game. They can't just re-release that with one extra card, because then people like me who's going to buy the fire spray straight away go, hey, what's going on? Yeah. Maybe it'll be a separate pilot pack like they've done for the conversion kit people.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it might be a special thing like with the Cavern Angels and the U-Wing.
Yeah, I can imagine that for sure. It's interesting because FFG have basically made the statement, hey, we're not going to try and fix things with ace packs.
Yeah.
But, Cavern Angels is already a part of second edition. We didn't get the Scum Y-Wing pilots in the Y-Wing pack, so are they just going to release a Scum Y-Wing? Are they going to release Most Wanted again, second edition version?
Yeah.
Don't know. It doesn't really fit, does it? So they're going to have to get creative. With re-releasing the Fire Spray again, somehow there's going to have to be some kind of solution. It could just be a case of they just release the pilot separate and they just put it into the existing packs, which maybe they can do now with improved printing techniques or something like that. Anyway, we'll see. Let's have a chat about the ships that we want to see added into the game. Starting off again with the CIS.
So, personally, what I really want, Tri-Fighters.
Yeah, Tri-Fighters look dope.
Oh.
Absolutely. Did you ever play the old Battlefront 2 game? I mean, not the current one, but the old one.
No, the good one.
Yeah, where it's like they have a minigun and it spools up and goes... Sounds awesome.
So good, yeah.
I wonder how you'd represent that in the game of X-Wing, but Tri-Fighters just look cool. Now, they are droids?
Yes.
Yes, just like vultures, they're droids, yeah.
But with the Battlefront game, they actually changed the weapons. It doesn't actually normally have a
no, and they made like General Grievous's ship, the bomber. They messed with it to try and balance out the game.
Yeah.
But it's meant to have some kind of powerful gun or something, has big glowy red eyes on the side.
It was meant to basically be an interceptor.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. It's got that sleek kind of design, where the vultures are meant to be like the TIE fighter / A-Wing of the faction.
Yeah.
Very agile, very small, very expendable. Again, they actually physically are droids. The ship is the pilot. How are they going to do that? I'm very curious to see.
I'm hoping to see like a lot of like crazy maneuvers as well. With
the
droids, because you should be able to do things that a normal human pilot.
Yeah, like the ship itself can take more G-force than a little man sitting inside the cockpit.
Yeah.
Vulture droids are going to be excellent. I have a feeling that Vulture droids are all going to be generic, and it's literally just different levels of AI.
Yeah.
That's what I think they're going to be. I don't think... Well, there is no unique Vulture droid that does not exist in the Star Wars canon.
Exactly.
Unless they invent something, which FFG have done in the past, but I just think different levels of AI for both Vulture droids and Tri-Fighters.
You've also got the hyena bombers as well.
Yeah, they look awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something unique, though, the Soulless one. We've spoken before on the channel how we want this in the game. It could have existed... before we got Clone Wars stuff, because Obi-Wan now has this ship, because he took it off General Grievous after he killed him. Whether or not he kept it after the Clone Wars is another matter, but the Soulless one, the Belbulub ship, a very fun name to say. It just looks so cool, like a big shot. It's a hot rod. It's a hot rod in space.
Yeah.
And the droid gunship. And I was curious about the droid gunship because I always assumed it was an early design for the Lancer Pursuit craft. I've struggled to find any reference of that, but it's that same flying saucer shape with a big gun on the side.
Yeah, and then a droid face sort of underneath it.
Yeah, is it a droid? I don't think this one's a droid. I think it carries troops.
Oh no, it is a droid.
The droid gunship. Okay, they're all droids. They're all droids. Fair enough.
At least the one I'm thinking of, anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Look, all the information in the Wikipedia. We'll do all the links in the description down below. But I think in terms of what's going to be like your support commander type ship, it's going to be the Sheathipede.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really, really cool. The crew on droid is going to be really interesting because they have specialized tactical droids that is meant to sync with all their AI and all that kind of stuff. What I don't want to see in X-Wing is the really sort of kitschy playfulness of the design of the battle droids, where they're stupid.
Yeah.
They're stupid. They go, have you ever faced Jedi? No, I haven't. Oh, there's one. I'm cut in half now. I almost did a George Lucas impersonation there. I don't want to see that represented in X-Wing. I want, in Legion as well, I want the ruthlessness of the battle droids to be represented. When Captain Rex is speaking about battle droids, he talks about like how they don't fatigue. They're like this relentless, unstoppable force.
More like the droids in Episode 1 as opposed to Episode 2 and 3.
Yeah, they were sort of a little bit silly in Episode 1, but not to say the quite same. Like the carpet of droids just walking through the Gungan shields, that kind of stuff. That's the kind of overall flavour I want for the faction. Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about what we want to see on the Republic faction. And not a lot to talk about here. We already have most of what we want, but there is still a small handful of stuff.
Yeah, we've got the N1 Starfighter.
The N1 Starfighter, and there's something we want to talk about here.
A small caveat.
A small caveat. Do we see Anakin Skywalker on the N1 Starfighter? And does he get barrel roll into red barrel roll into red barrel roll into red barrel roll? That's the question.
That is the only way that you do it.
I mean...
and then you light the card on fire and you never talk of it again.
That's just the thing. I mean, look, we're not big fans of the prequels. I like a lot of the aesthetics of the prequels.
I'm sorry, I'm a fan of the prequels.
You're a fan of the prequels?
I am.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, but you probably agree with me on most of the things that concern you in those movies, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Look, the core demographic of wargamers that play the Star Wars FFG titles are people our age and above.
Yeah.
We're in our late 20s, but we're probably considered some of the younger. I would say in general, maybe not in X-Wing, but definitely overall in Imperial Assault, Legion, all that kind of stuff. Things like Jar Jar, Young Anakin. It's not things that really the fans of the... I'm making assumptions here, by the way. You might completely disagree with me. I just don't think these are things that the fans of FFG games really identify with.
Yeah.
So I think I really want the M1 Starfighter in the game. I've wanted it ever since before the Clone Wars was announced. I think it'd be fantastic on the Rebellion. Even if it comes out as part of the Republic, they could have Rebellion pilots.
Yeah, special ace cards.
Yeah, Princess Leia in the comics flew an M1 Starfighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Shattered Empire. Great comic, by the way. You guys should read that. Young Anakin, I hope not, but... whatever, like a PS1 with a Force token. No.
I just, if I see it, I want a barrel roll into a red barrel roll.
It's a matter of taste and flavour and mechanics. It'd be very hard to achieve. But look, overall, this with like just sort of generic Naboo police force kind of character cards, that kind of thing. Again, if this was on the Rebellion, you'd have a few named pilots on the Rebellion, but a bunch of generics on the Republic. Which is really, really cool. Kind of, I imagine it being like
Padme also flew them, and her captain at the start of episode 2.
Oh yeah, the Maori guy. I can't remember his name, but yeah, I know what you mean.
So there are a couple of ace pilots for the N1 if they want to do it.
Yeah, I reckon so. I imagine the design of the ship being something like a Z95 with Astromechs and maybe a system slot to represent like the autopilot they have.
Yeah.
Not a fully capable starfighter. It has to be very, very bare bones, but has some neat little system stuff.
Yeah.
The Republic dropship, the LAAT.
Now this does have a little bit of space flight in it.
Yeah, in the Clone Wars show, they use it to drop from freighter to freighter to like the Star Destroyers onto like droid ships. It does happen. And the reason I say there's a good chance for this is A, it's really iconic to the Clone Wars, and B, we have the TIE Reaper on the Empire, which basically represents the same thing. So yeah, I'd love to see this. Lots of crew, gimbaled cannons, turrets, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that could happen with this ship, which could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, like you could basically almost have it like a Swiss Army knife sort of thing. Like you could have either as a missile carrier or a gunner carrier, or
and considering the Jedi crew, all the utilities that come with that, could be real fun. Which brings us on to the new class attack shuttle, and this is an interesting one because if we already have the troop transport, do we need a separate shuttle for crew? I don't know. Like, do we want a Lambda class shuttle on the Republic? Don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe it has more crew, although you'd think a dropship would have at least 2 crew.
Yeah.
That would make the most sense. This wouldn't have a gunner. Maybe it's a cheaper platform. Don't know. Yeah, basically one of the earlier designs of the Lambda class shuttle could be interesting, could have interesting potential. I think this more depends on what the faction wants to be doing. It's great on the Empire faction because they want really powerful crew. Whether the Republic does that, I can see that very clearly being a big thing on the Droid faction, maybe not Republic. So the Jedi Starship that we saw an image for in the in-flight conference was the first one we see in the movies. I think that's what we would refer to as the Mark 1.
Yeah, the one from episode 2, basically. The one that its hyperdrive had a
Had that, the ring that they had to go. That was so cool.
Yeah.
A very cool design. Like, again, not a fan of the prequels myself, but I love a lot of the aesthetic choices in those movies. But in later movies, well, in episode 3 rather, we had later renditions of this. Particularly the one in episode 3, right at the start, built by Sinar with the twin ion engine.
Yeah.
A cool looking ship. Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah.
And there are so many Jedi pilots that you can choose from.
Absolutely. Like we saw Anakin and Obi-Wan in both.
Yeah.
At some stage.
You see Conehead. What's his name?
Conehead. Oh, yeah. Kiadi Mundi.
Yes, Kiadi Mundi. You also see...
Yoda was depicted flying a green version of the newer one.
Yeah. Plo Koon gets blown up in one.
I think his was actually the original version in the movie. Yeah, when you see it spinning out, I think it's got the pointy nose and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, different Jedi. I mean, we could have lots of different names, lots of different titles.
Yeah.
If the Jedis want to modify their ships, you'd think Jedi would want to modify their ships to their own specifications.
Yeah. Well, not only that, you can then also have like Jedi Youngling or Jedi...
Yeah, like Padawans, like good generics. This is something that we're seeing a lot in the Empire faction, but I think it's pretty much a given that we're going to get like generic Padawan to use on this faction. Force is going to be a big thing, as well as whatever mechanics we get with clone troopers. I think the fact that you have this hive mind of clove troopers doesn't work with like passing calculate tokens, but it's going to be like a different kind of mechanic that works together.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of design space here to play around with. It's very, very exciting. The Republic looks awesome. The CIS looks awesome. Now the Scum Faction. I just want to quickly bring this up because there is a couple of things that we want to talk about, and I'm sure, like in the comment section, guys, if we missed anything, let us know. But there is a couple of things in the Scum Faction. I was just going
to say, we have missed things.
Oh, we have missed things. We always miss things. But we just want to start the conversation so we can talk in the comment section about this stuff. Yeah. And we'll talk about this in later videos and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. For the Scum Faction, there's 2 ships in particular I want to talk about. First of all, the Xanadu Blood, the rogue class attack fighter. It was a bit contentious because it was used by Cad Bane. The Xanadu Blood was his ship in particular. Yep. It was also used by the Magna Guards, by General Grievous's personal bodyguards. So, Scum or CIS? That's the question. I think in the case of the Fire Spray, it's definitely Scum. In the case of the rogue class, it's going to be CIS, and we'll just put Cad Bane on the CIS. I think that's the cleanest way to implement it.
As a one-off sort of thing. Yeah.
Considering there are generic characters that use rogue class fighters, it belongs in the CIS.
Yeah.
And if we have Magna Guard, like how do their calculate tokens work? How do they communicate with other ships? Because they're not part of the hive mind of droids that all like fight and need to have. They're unique droids. They're like almost like protocol droids, but with big zappy staffs. One of the more ambitious designs from episode 3. An interesting thing, just this really sort of dope, aggressive, maneuverable starfighter. We don't know a whole lot about it, but I originally thought that it might appear on the Scum Faction, and then Cad Bane appeared on the Skirg H6 bomber expansion, and I thought, okay, well, that's a sign that Cad Bane's not going to get his own ship. That's probably fair enough. Yeah. But now we've got Clone Wars stuff. No, we need Cad Bane piloting a ship. That has to be a thing. Yeah. One more thing on the Scum Faction, and I've spoken about this before in several videos, the Gauntlet Fighter, FFG, where is it? We have Clone Wars coming. You have no excuse to put this in the game now. Holy moly.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think it probably belongs in the Scum Faction. There are arguments to get it on Republic. There are arguments to get it on Rebellion because the Night Brother is taken by Ezra Bridger. Yeah. There's arguments to even have it on the Empire because people, Mandalorians who worked for the Empire, that's like Gar Saxon, that kind of stuff. I think in the option where it's contentious, let's just say it's part of the Mandalorian army, it's Scum.
Just give it to the Scum,
I think it's the cleanest way to do it. FFG are clearly avoiding putting multiple factions on certain ships now. I think you agree with that, right?
Yeah. No, I'm perfectly happy. A little bit saddened, but it makes sense.
Yeah, as preparation for this video, we watched a little bit of Clone Wars just to try and remember where certain ships appeared. It looks like such a cool thing. It's a giant triangle. It'd be so big. It's physically wider than the Ghost, so see how that works. It's not epic. It doesn't function like an epic ship, but maybe they have to scale it down or something.
Yeah.
I want the Gauntlet Fighter in X-Wing so badly.
So good.
I want a Gauntlet Fighter 2 Fang Fighter list. I want it to happen. It just looks so cool.
Flavor-wise, it sounds amazing, but like...
FFG, make it so. Yeah, as I said, this video is not informative. This is just us getting excited about the Clone Wars faction, speculating on what we want.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of our thoughts on this. In the comment section, guys, please, if we missed anything... If you think there's something that was either in Legends, in the TV show, even in the old canon, now that Disney have errated it.
Also, have a look at our old one back from December.
Yeah, we had a video speculating on ships we want to see in X-Wing. That wasn't specifically Clone Wars stuff, but most of what we spoke about appeared in that video as well.
Yeah.
Because even before Clone Wars content was going to be in X-Wing as their own factions, we still wanted to see it as, shoehorned in somehow because, man, these ships are cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. In the meantime, stay tuned. Lots more information on the Clone Wars stuff for X-Wing still to come. Like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Reddit. And we'll catch you guys later.
Bye.